We all know them. The "I would have, but," the "it's not my fault because," the "if only X hadn't happened." These are the telltale symptoms of a widespread and often unacknowledged condition, the excuse epidemic. This isn't about legitimate reasons or unforeseen obstacles. It's about the pervasive habit of rationalization, the psychological defense mechanism we employ to justify our actions, inactions, or shortcomings, often to protect our ego or avoid discomfort. Facing these rationalizations is crucial, not just for individual growth, but for fostering a culture of responsibility and genuine progress. At its heart, the excuse epidemic is fueled by our innate desire to maintain a positive self-image and avoid negative feelings like guilt, shame, or the sting of failure. When faced with a task we find daunting, a mistake we've made, or a commitment we've failed to meet, it's often psychologically easier to construct a narrative that shifts blame or minimizes our role. This is where rationalization kicks in. It's a clever trick of the mind, dressing up an excuse in the guise of a logical explanation. "I didn't finish the report because I had too many other urgent tasks" sounds more acceptable than "I procrastinated and managed my time poorly." The former deflects responsibility, the latter accepts it. The insidious nature of rationalization lies in its subtlety and its self-deceptive power. We often become so adept at crafting these narratives that we genuinely believe them ourselves. This creates a dangerous cycle. Avoidance. We shy away from challenging tasks or owning up to errors. Rationalization. We invent plausible but ultimately misleading reasons for our avoidance or failure. Reinforcement. Believing our own rationalizations, we feel justified, and the underlying issue, e.g., fear of failure, poor time management, lack of discipline, remains unaddressed. Repetition. The pattern repeats, solidifying the habit of making excuses rather than taking action or learning from mistakes. The consequences of this epidemic are far-reaching. Stunted personal growth. If we constantly rationalize our failures or inactions, we rob ourselves of the opportunity to learn, adapt, and improve. True growth often comes from confronting our weaknesses and mistakes. Eroded accountability. In personal relationships, workplaces, and even societal structures, a culture of excuse-making undermines trust and accountability. When no one takes ownership, problems fester and solutions are delayed. Diminished self-respect. While rationalizations might offer temporary relief to the ego, deep down, a persistent pattern of excuse-making can lead to a feeling of inadequacy and a lack of genuine self-respect. We know, on some level, when we're not living up to our potential. Missed opportunities. The energy spent on crafting and defending excuses could be far better invested in finding solutions, seeking help, or simply putting in the effort required. Facing our rationalizations is an act of courage and self-awareness. It requires us to practice radical honesty, ask ourselves tough questions. Is this a genuine reason, or am I trying to avoid something? What is the real reason I didn't follow through? Embrace discomfort. Acknowledge that facing shortcomings and taking responsibility can be uncomfortable, but it's a necessary discomfort for growth. Shift focus to solutions. Instead of dwelling on why something can't be done or wasn't done, focus on what can be done now. Cultivate a growth mindset. View challenges and failures not as indictments of our worth, but as opportunities to learn and develop new skills or strategies. Take ownership. Even if external factors contributed, identify your part in the situation and what you can control moving forward. The excuse epidemic is a silent inhibitor of potential. By learning to recognize and confront our own rationalizations, we move from a defensive posture to one of empowerment. It's about choosing integrity over illusion, action over avoidance, and growth over stagnation. Only by facing our excuses can we truly begin to overcome them and build a more authentic, responsible, and ultimately, more successful life.